NBC's Jim Miklaszewski joins me now from the Pentagon. Jim, the president says simply, we are going to act. But is there any sense of the time frame in the building that you cover?
Tom, military planners are looking at everything from short-term airstrikes to a long-term ground invasion. And if the U.S. can pinpoint Osama bin Laden, strikes could come at any time. Air Force reserves on the move today in Minnesota, a mortuary team on a grim mission to identify the dead from the World Trade Towers in New York, as a new set of orders comes down from their commander-in-chief.
My message is for everybody who wears the uniform, get ready. The United States will do what it takes to win this war.
And today, an early victory. Pakistan has agreed to assist the U.S. military in any possible attack on Afghanistan, aimed at Osama bin Laden and Afghanistan's ruling party, the Taliban. But U.S. forces already in the region can strike at any time without Pakistan's help, with long-range cruise missiles or B-52 bombers. That's only if they can find bin Laden. Well hidden, constantly on the move, he's an elusive target. So at the same time, the Pentagon is reviewing plans for an open-ended campaign of sustained airstrikes off U.S. aircraft carriers and from allied military bases in the region, including Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar in the Persian Gulf, Uzbekistan and Tajikistan to the north, even a rebel airstrip in northern Afghanistan. Current planning also includes a small ground invasion, Army airborne infantry backed by attack helicopters. But the war on terrorism will not end with bin Laden.
And what we have to do is not just go after these perpetrators and those who gave them haven, but the whole curse of terrorism that is upon the face of the earth.
At the Pentagon today, dramatic new pictures as the outer walls collapse. Deep inside, a massive tangle of debris, charred hallways, a telephone melted by intense heat, a clock blown back in time by the blast. And a new death toll tonight, 188, down 2. In a bizarre coincidence, 2 Pentagon employees counted as missing were actually passengers on the terrorist planes. One that hit the Pentagon, the other the World Trade Center. Both had been counted as dead twice. Officials here say this will not be another Gulf War desert storm. It may take only 2 to 3 months to get all the pieces in place. And once begun, it'll take years. Tom?
NBC's Jim Miklaszewski at the Pentagon tonight. Now let's go to the nations that are in the crosshairs. Afghanistan, the home base of Osama bin Laden, is now the fault line in the world's most dangerous region. Its most powerful neighbors, Pakistan and Iran, say they will close their borders. And today, Iraq's Saddam Hussein expressed very little sympathy for the victims of Tuesday's attack, saying the United States should feel the pain it's inflicted on other countries, the words of Saddam Hussein. Tonight, the pressure is on Pakistan, which does have relations with the West. It's also getting even more intense. It must choose between its neighbors and America. NBC's Ron Allen in Pakistan tonight.
Facing intense U.S. pressure, Pakistan's leaders agreed to help take on one of this country's closest allies, Afghanistan's radical Taliban leaders. The U.S. demanding Pakistan seal its long 1,500-mile border with Afghanistan, share intelligence information about the Taliban, and if necessary, allow U.S. fighter jets and cruise missiles to fly through Pakistan's airspace. Pakistan drew the line at using its own military in an attack.
Pakistan does not expect in any way to participate in any military operations outside our borders.
Angry protesters took to the street following today's decision, shouting bin Laden, bin Laden, supporting their fellow Muslims in Afghanistan, opposing any cooperation with America.
We will not allow our government to go for aggression to Osama bin Laden or Afghanistan. We will not accept it, and nobody is going to accept it.
Taliban leaders here also warning Pakistan not to help the United States and threatening to seek revenge against any country that attacks Afghanistan.
If any neighboring country gave territorial way or airspace to USA against our land, it would draw us into an imposed war.
In Afghanistan, Taliban leaders urge all foreigners to leave the country and their own people to prepare for a holy war as thousands of refugees flee the capital. Many of those refugees heading here into Pakistan, and tonight this country's leaders strongly suggesting they expect economic help from the United States in exchange for joining the fight against their neighbor, Afghanistan. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC's Ron Allen tonight, who is in Islamabad, Pakistan.